buying them to flip, buying them to rent, buying them to live in, it doesn't really matter. I'm talking about foreclosures. I'm going to show you inside this one here in just a second. Even I was shocked to see the condition of this property, but they're like this all around. And I'm not just going to show you inside the property. I'm going to share with you as we walk through the mistakes that people make, what to look out for, what to do, and most importantly, what not to do when you're buying any home, especially a foreclosure. So this house is a 1,400 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. And what's shocking about this house is I'm going to show you around. It doesn't need anything. This house is like flawless. There is a couple of little spots, I'll show those to you, but it doesn't need anything. It's got a wood burning fireplace. It's got double French doors. I mean, there's mini blinds and stuff everywhere. It's got an open kitchen. Now this is an actual wood countertop, which is pretty cool. Now about that countertop I did a video on to let people know that you could do this by simply purchasing these big slabs at Home Depot. And you could purchase them literally right off the shelf. You could drop them on your countertop, and literally for less than probably $400, you can have countertops just like that one. But this one's nice, white cabinets, stainless steel appliances, and check this out too. I always tell people, if you can, have a large utility room. Now this house is only 1,400 square feet, which isn't a huge house. But look, they put a window in here, you got cabinets, and then you got this nice shelf if you wanna use this as your pantry. That's pretty cool. Now, if you want to see houses just like this, regardless of where you live, your city, your state, your county, your parish, you can go to findmyforeclosure.com. That's an affiliate link of foreclosure.com. They've been around for 20 plus years. Findmyforeclosure.com is my personal affiliate link. It's a paid site. It costs $40 a month, but you can cancel at any time. And most importantly, it gives you access to foreclosures, bank-owned properties, foreclosed land, multifamily, bankruptcy, you name it. If a bank owns the property, it's going to be at findmyforeclosure.com. Let me show you around the rest of the house. Now, as I walk down the hall here, here's a full bath, and you can see it. It's in great shape. Everything's got a tub shower. It also has a linen closet, which is really nice. It's got crown mold everywhere, nice neutral colors. Bedroom here on the front of the house, closets everywhere. Another bedroom here, closets everywhere. Now, there's something in the main bedroom as I'm stepping in right here I want to share with you. This room is double windows. It also has a closet there. But here's a feature that a lot of people don't like. A lot of people don't like when you have a large opening right there and it's not closed. So if some person works nights and some person doesn't, they work days, it can be disturbing to wake up in the middle of the night to turn that light on. So what a lot of people do is they'll actually build or have built one of those barn doors, or if they're a country boy like me, they just build one themselves, and you can buy the tracks online on Amazon or wherever. But the point I'm trying to make is that way you have a sliding door. So if you have an opening like this on your house, that's something that you can actually build and open and slide that closed. This house also has a hookup and everything for a TV, which is really cool. But you can tell, I mean, it doesn't need much of anything. Let's go outside. Now the backyard is 1 acre. I don't know if I mentioned that to you, but this property is on 1 full acre. If you want to buy this property just for sale, it also has a covered back porch. And the yard is fenced in for the most part, not the entire yard, but most of the yard's fenced in. It's also an all brick house. So you can see it's got beautiful shade trees, beautiful oak trees. But here's what you want to do. This property is on a septic system. So you want to make sure that the septic system is working. You want to make sure that the well is working. You want to make sure you get a copy of the survey. You just want to do your due diligence, like I always tell anybody. This house also is on a dead-end street, so it's on a cul-de-sac. That's good for resale. It's also good if you're purchasing the property and you have small children or pets, because there's not a lot of through traffic. It's just typically the people that live at the end of the street. Now, one of the big mistakes that a lot of people make is they purchase a property and think, well, it's as is, where is. The bank says they're not going to fix anything, but that doesn't mean you can't do a home inspection on the property. And most of the time when you do an inspection, the electricity's not on, the water's not on, they'll winterize the property. This one is kind of different. This one's listed for a friend of mine, Brent Drew. He does a lot of foreclosures right here in St. Tammany Parish, Louisiana. This one has the utility zone. 99% of the time, they will winterize the plumbing system on the property. They winterize it, but here's the thing. You don't know how long that property is set vacant before the bank took it back and winterized it. So it's not a bad idea to do a plumbing inspection as well as a general home inspection when you buy any foreclosure. So I want to share with you a couple of features on this house. As I'd mentioned, it's got a covered front porch, which is really cool. It's got a covered back porch, which is awesome. And it's on an acre of land, which is pretty darn cool. It also has a two-car carport. Two-car carport. If you'll notice, this one is actually under the beam, as they call it. That one's actually under the house. So you can see how, if you wanted to, you could enclose that in and make it a garage, Or you can enclose it in and make it a she shed or a man cave or anything like that for your personal just hanging out. And then you still got this for your boat. You know what I'm talking about, right? Cars, boats, go right there. But it gets better. So check this out. You see me walking around the back, but look at the yard. It's huge. Put a workshop right there. Still got your covered carport. You got a den. You're on a dead end street. You got a covered back porch. And I don't think I mentioned, but this home, it's not in an HOA. No homeowners association. And you know you love that. Now, as I mentioned, you're buying the property as is where is, but you want to make sure you can turn the utilities on. A lot of banks won't allow you to turn the electricity on to even do your inspection. The only way you're going to know that is to ask a representative of the bank or have your agent ask the listing broker on the property whether or not you can have the utilities turned on. The utilities are on this house, but a lot of them they're not on. They winterize them, as I'd mentioned. Now, what you need to know is, can you actually have the utilities turned on? A lot of times they won't let you turn on the water or turn on the electric because they've winterized the property and they don't want to spend another 150, 200 bucks to have the property re-winterized. You need to know that going in instead of wasting time writing a contract, negotiating that offer and thinking you're going to buy a house. They won't even let you turn the electric on. Now, don't ask me why they do that. It's just corporate, I guess. You know, it's kind of like you don't have to buy the property either, you know, but unless you're just getting a steal of a deal, and you also want to make sure that the agent that you're working with actually pulls comparable sales so you can see you're not. I tell people one of the biggest things you can do when it comes to buying any property, not just a foreclosure, is to get emotionally connected and involved in the property, meaning that you're buying it and all of a sudden you get a phone call or a text message from your agent that says, hey, there's another offer on the property. Now, they're not going to tell you what that offer is because keep in mind, the listing broker is looking out for the best interest of the seller, the client, who's actually paying them, right? So what you need to know is you're going to be making an offer, you're going to be competing with somebody else making an offer, and you just want to make sure that you don't get so emotionally tied in and connected. That's why it's important to have your agent pull comparable sales. And also keep this in mind. I know a lot of people, when you're negotiating the price of a house and it's $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 difference, you have to know that if the interest rates are 6%, for every $10,000 that you're borrowing, it's costing you $60 a month. So for example, if you're in a difference of $10,000 between you and the seller, and you're like, man, that's $10,000. No, it's actually $60 on your monthly payment. Now don't get me wrong, it's $10,000 any way you shake it, but here's what happens. When you take $60 and you divide that into the $10,000, it's gonna take you 14 years to pay the $10,000. Most people, especially if it's your first home, move out of their house within 7 or 8 years. They sell it and move on to a bigger house. Now keep in mind, if you plan on living on it for 30 years, that $10,000 can turn into about $21,000 because you're paying interest on that money. But you can see the difference. Just a little word of the wise, if you're going to negotiate anything like that, make sure you look at every single scenario so you don't get hung up buying something that you'll regret. So you'll want to always remember to do your due diligence. You have that time frame. Don't get too emotionally connected to the property. Make sure you like it, you're going to live in it. And listen, it's not a bad idea to get out and talk to the neighbors, knock on the door, find out who lived here, what was wrong with the property. I bought a house one time and the people told me that they had a horse living inside. Well, I could tell after I bought it. So listen, learn from others. That's what I've done, and I've got a lot of experience, and I'm excited to share with you everything that I've done. So give me a thumbs up. Let us know if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel. I'll promise you, you will learn something on every single episode.